We are back. New York City baseball, past, present, and future. I'm Ralph Tyko with the Comfortably Zoned Radio Network, and the co-hosts of the show are both with us this evening, Marty Rose and Robert Deininger.
Hello there.
Yeah, Mert, how are you?
All good, thank you.
Good, and Robert?
No, I'm doing good. How are you all?
Good.
How are you all doing?
Son of my only fan. I don't know how it always goes that way. There's always one fan, and your mom gets to be it. Does she enjoy the show? She has to agree with you on the radio. Your wit and your soft key approach to it is nice. Love having you.
I appreciate that.
All right. Well, we've come to praise the New York teams, not to bury them. How about that? So let's. I've been thinking about it. We've had this has been a horrible week for both teams for a myriad of different reasons, and it would be too easy to have a show and harp on those reasons. So let's talk about the overall organization, and I'm going to first start with Mert and with the Mets, and just off the top of your head, give me some real positives because that have come out of this injury-riddled season. I want to talk positives tonight.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, it could be a short conversation, Ralph.
Well, that's okay. My voice, and that was the show, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back next week if they ever win again.
All right. Well,
it could be, but there have, as I see it, just off the top, there are some things that have come out of this season so far that I'm impressed with, and go to you first.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to say that Jay Bruce has been, to me, a big surprise this year, and I realize that he's a free agent at the end of the year, but when looking at what kind of outfielders the Mets have in their organization, I think they might be willing to offer Bruce some kind of long-term deal, because he's shown that he's got power. He can play in New York, which last year we weren't sure about, but being here the whole season, I think we realize that now. And he's a clutch guy, and he's a good team guy, good in the clubhouse, and I think that's a big positive. One of the
doesn't get hurt.
positives.
He plays every day. I can't remember him missing games.
Yeah, right. And he does not get hurt. That is very true. Can't say that about too many other guys. If you're looking for more than that, I don't know. Conforto seems to be falling into the same kind of bad habits that he did last year. He started off really good. Lately, so-so. And as far, I don't see any outfield prospects on the near horizon at all. I'm not a big fan of Nimmo at all. I mean, he's for a fourth or fifth outfielder, fine, but I don't see him as being a starter anytime soon. What else is good? I mean, I think the pitching is still a positive, even though guys have been hurt.
Let's go to the position players for 1 second. There aren't much good. I want you to, because when he's healthy and he's in a groove, it's nice. I mean, he's got awesome power and generally picks it at first base. And he's up for free agency.
Yeah, I think he's gone after this year. I don't think they're going to offer him anything. I think Dominic Smith is going to be the starter there next year.
Okay.
And I think the same thing at shortstop. Pretty obvious that Rosario is going to be the starter there next year. Now, after that, I like what I see out of T.J. Rivera, but he's not that great of a fielder. Maybe he could get by at second base. Maybe. Wilmer, I'm afraid Wilmer can't play anywhere.
No, defensively.
No, if there was a DH, he'd be a DH. He's very slow. He's not that good of a fielder. They really need a third base.
Step at third. He doesn't have reactions at all at third.
No. And he's slow at second also. They really need to get a third baseman. I don't think they have one. This guy Phil Evans that we saw in the spring, he was okay, but he's no kid. He's been around a while. I think they need to get a third baseman from someplace. And catcher, I mean, what can you say? Darno is the same as he always has been. Rene Rivera is a good backup. That's all he is. Pilecki is not a major leaguer as far as I'm concerned. And this kid Nito needs more seasoning. I don't know how he's going to turn out down the road. Anybody's guess. But, as far as all the positions, that's about what I think about that, Ralph.
Okay. Let's go to you, Robert, and talk about positions, and then we'll come back to Mert. Talk about positions with the Yankees, Robert, positive things you see, and there should be many. And then we'll come back to talk to Mert about positives on the pitching staff, and see if we can't get by DeGrom after DeGrom positive, because I got to say that was two nice outings in a row by him. Getting into the eighth, as far as I'm concerned, is black party time if you're a Met fan these days.
NL Player of the Week, Ralph.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hats off to him.
Yep.
Robert, we'll talk Yankees. Get back to you in a minute. Position players of the many, and I'm going to say too easy to start with Judge. So, I mean, what can you say about that guy?
I love him in the 3 spot. I'd even like to see him put him in the 4th spot and have Holiday bat 3rd. I mean, Judge, he's batting, I think, .335 with 23 homers and 53 RBIs. I mean, unbelievable. And Sanchez has been picking it up. He's up to 287 since they dropped him down to 6th in the batting order. And I like, well, they've moved him around a little bit, but he started picking it up when he got moved down. And I like what I'm seeing from Severino and Montgomery, the 2 young pitchers they have in their rotation. I think they're going to be good pitchers in years to come for them. But overall, this week the Yankee fans have been overreacting, especially on social media, calling for Girardi to be fired, trade for a first baseman, trade for an ace. I think everyone needs to just calm down with all the firing and trade talks.
Okay, the guys that are kind of integral parts, Hicks, Bird.
Yeah.
Tell me about those guys. They seem to be an enigma. They can't stay healthy. And
Bird hurt his knee. I think he fouled the ball off his knee, and he's seen a specialist I think either today or tomorrow in North Carolina. But his ankle's still bothering him, and now his knee's bothering him. I don't know what to make of him. I mean, he was hurt in 2015, even though he played pretty well, but he wound up missing all of 2016 because of the shoulder. He might be just one of those players that just can't stay healthy. I don't know. But the Yankees had him rated as their best hitting prospect. It'd be a shame that...
You say something that may be one of those players that just can't stay healthy. Go back to Mert for just 1 second if you're listening, Mert.
Yes.
Cespedes' name come up in your head, and is it possible that this guy, the reason this guy came so cheaply was that he just can't stay healthy?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I really haven't looked into what he did before he came to the Mets as far as being injured and missing games. I'm really not sure about that. But you just look at the guy and you see he's so muscle bound that you got to think he's going to be susceptible to the kind of things that have been bothering him. But look, if I don't mind if he doesn't bust it every once in a while, if he's going to stay healthy, To me, I don't think that's the case. I really don't.
Well, they handled his last comeback off the DL very poorly. They
played him. They rested him. They played him 2 games. They rested him. They played him 3 games. They rested him. So now he's supposed to start playing every day, starting tonight. So we'll see what happens.
Good. Back to you, Robert. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no. And I think Sabathia being hurt is going to hurt him a little bit. He was 5-0 or 6-0 after a Tanaka loss, and so someone in that pitching rotation is going to have to step up behind Tanaka because you never know what you're going to get out of him right now.
Is it because of all the innings on him? How many innings in Japan before?
Yeah, I think it could be the innings, and I think the arm injuries over the years. Ever since he's joined the Yankees in 2014, he's always had an arm issue, whether it's a strained forearm or a sore elbow. I just think the innings and the injuries have taken their toll. I'm hoping I'm wrong,
both teams decimated, and I want to speak to you guys just off the top of my head, not just the Mets and the Yankees. Every team in baseball has a myriad of injuries. Guys never went on the DL. Dusty Baker said he played 15 years in the big leagues, never went on the DL, and didn't even know what an oblique was.
I heard that. Yeah.
I heard Pete Rose say when the season was over, he didn't pick up a baseball bat until spring training, and during the off season he'd play tennis and other sports, but never picked up a bat. But nowadays these athletes train year round.
And does that help? Does training year round help? And should the body be using different muscles in the off season, like basketball or whatever, pick up that? I remember players would pick up basketball a lot.
Yeah.
And then guys would get hurt, ankles would be sprained with that also.
Yeah, now they have clauses in contracts not to play sports in the off season, certain sports or certain activities.
Right.
I heard an interesting comment, Ralph, about injuries that somebody pointed out the other day. In baseball, especially more now than ever, there's a lot of downtime where nothing is going on. There's more downtime between innings. There's more downtime every time they have to go to a umpire replay. Guys sitting around, innings are longer. They're sitting around longer, and then they have to get up and try to beat out a slow ground ball going full speed all of a sudden. Now, if you look at football, what are guys doing when they're off the field? They're riding on a bicycle to keep loose.
Yeah.
Baseball, they're not doing that. They're just sitting in the dugout. They're leaning, they're watching the game, leaning on the railing. And then they have to go out and bust it. They got to bust it down the line. They got to bust it to go in the gap to catch a ball from standing still to a full sprint.
Same thing with pitchers. They've got to put that extra on the ball after sitting around in a long inning.
Yeah.
That really could be the key to this.
Possibility. Yeah.
And maybe enlightened team management will put in a bike in the clubhouse where you get these guys. If you just batted and it's between innings or you're not going to come up, get in the clubhouse, get on the bike. Maybe that would help to keep loose. Very good point. More positives about the Yankees, Robert, if you would. Sanchez coming back is a big one.
It is. What can I say?
Holiday, Ellsbury, are they anywhere near what they were? Can you expect because they both played very, very well, given their age and what have you? Can we expect more of the same? Are you happy with them?
Holiday has been better than I thought, and he's batting .270 with 14 home runs and 46 RBIs. He comes up with big hits at crucial times. I really like what I'm seeing out of Holiday this year. Ellsbury, he still hasn't come back yet. I think he should be back soon, but I think you're going to see a lot of hicks. You still having headaches?
Is he? You say?
Oh, I thought Ralph said Marty said he was still having headaches. I know he was.
He had a very bad head injury. I mean,
he
put him on that 7-day thing, but he's been out about 3 weeks already.
Yeah, and last week they said he was still suffering from concussion-like symptoms.
Yeah,
and
not good.
Yeah, so you don't know. I'm not sure when he might be back, but I mean, he was batting I think .281 when he went down, and so he was off to a good start. But
good start,
Hicks
stolen
just
bases mixed in there.
Yeah, he more aggressive on the base path. He's driving the ball, but now you got Hicks who's making it tough on Joe when Ellsbury does get back.
Right. Which is good. They have to push each other, and because even if he doesn't get the job back, somewhere down the line, this is 1/3 of the season, and already for both teams, all these injuries. How's it going to be down the stretch? One can only imagine. Marty, you made a statement the other day that I really agreed with, but I hate to admit it. They're going to be sellers come the trade deadline.
Yeah,
correct?
Obvious. Yeah, pretty obvious about that. But because they have so many free agents, which means that they're not going to get much back from anybody because there's a lot of contracts that are running out. So I don't know what they can expect to get back for somebody that's only going to be there for a couple of months. But I mean, they could sell off a guy like who'd be very valuable to somebody would be Reed.
I think God! What would the bullpen? He's just coming back, where he's giving them decent outings.
He's been good, but you know what kind of market it'd be for him?
I can't imagine what that bullpen would be with anybody else in there as a closer. But then again, by that time, you don't really need a closer if you're
no.
This is a sell-off point. You're right that he would be valuable. I'm trying to Zach Wheeler. There's a guy pleasant surprise, positive. But isn't he on some sort of season-long pitch count type?
Yeah, he's got an supposedly innings limit. Yes.
Oh, innings limit. Okay. Is he
so
exceeding that? Is he pro rata?
By staying with the six-man rotation, he can last longer into the season. But now with Harvey being out, I don't know if they're going to stay with this six-man rotation or not. At least this time, because Wheeler's pitching tonight. Harvey's turn comes up tomorrow. I don't know what they're doing tomorrow. I think it's going to be a spot starter, and they're going to stick with the six-man deal. At least this time through.
They just brought up Montero. Would that be?
Yeah, he's been terrible, but I guess his last time out supposedly had a decent relief appearance. He pitched a few good innings, but look, every time he started, he's been terrible. So but then again, what are they going to do against the Dodgers anyway? No matter who they put out there, to tell you the truth, the Dodgers
they could
are
get
very
well
strong
against the Giants because up close and personal out here, they suck.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they're going. Well, the Mets are coming in, and up close and personal, they suck.
Yeah.
So they're thinking the same thing. What do the Yankees have going upcoming? Anything interesting in your mind, Robert?
Well, thankfully they're coming home, which is great. And having Chapman back takes a lot of stress off that bullpen because they're a little shaky without him. But the Yankees, those last 7 games only scored 30 runs, and I think the 6 games prior to that they scored 60 runs. So I'm hoping being home in the Bronx, their offense, produces a little more, and with Chapman back, bullpen will be a little bit more steady. So I'm looking for a good week, and Pineda starts tomorrow, and he's 6-1 at home. So I'm hoping for a good week.
Well, I want to give Marty and I a little bit of credit because never in the last year and a half we've been doing this thing have we expected anything out of Wright. We never said, well, when Wright comes back, we'll have this, that, and the other thing. And as it turns out, he's basically no closer to coming back now than he was in spring training.
No.
He's, but we're not Pollyanna. We look at things realistically. The thing that surprises me is how little we've gotten out of Reyes this year and Cabrera's incredible drop-off defensively from this year to last year.
Yeah, he looks like a completely different guy. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I tell you, the only reason that Reyes is in there is his defense because, he's better than anybody else they could put at third base. And he's the only other guy that can play shortstop. Seriously.
And he's a better shortstop, naturally, than a third baseman, which is a dilemma.
He still has a great arm.
With Cabrera's lack of mobility this year, maybe something's wrong, but why don't they put him at third and put Reyes at shortstop?
Yeah, good question. Maybe just has never played there. I don't know. I haven't even heard that mentioned.
Maybe they haven't asked his agent in a nice enough manner. Hey, Senor, come out to dinner with us. We'll dine. We'll chat. What can we do for you? He's hitting 142, but we want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Make him happy. This, that, and that's what baseball's come to a lot in these days.
That's true.
Is the business part of it. And the more we do this, the more the business, I see that the business part of it plays an incredibly big part. Not calling up Rosario or calling up Rosario has not become a baseball decision. Is he ready? Should the team, will he give the team a spark? This, that, and the other thing. That's not what it comes down to. What it comes down to is that clause in the contract that if they bring him up this year, they lose him for a year. They lose his free agency,
Well, I think they're already past that time. They could. I think they could bring him up now without that penalty going into effect. But Sandy's saying he's just not ready. So, part of it is they don't want people to feel like here he is and this guy's the savior and he's going to lead you to the promised land. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
So, when you'll see him,
he
in September.
He can make that defense, and if you're a relying on pitching team, that was well said. I should be in radio. If you rely on pitching and your defense is even when it's not being porous, the range just isn't there. Flores has no range. Cabrera's showing no range. That's up the middle.
Rivera has no range either, really.
Yeah.
PJ Rivera.
Oh, okay.
4 for 4 yesterday or whatever it was. 4 for 5.
Yeah, he did have a hell of a day yesterday, for sure. But and you got to like the guy coming from nowhere. I mean, yeah. Personally, you got to root for a guy like that.
The guy is basically what they in another sport would call a walk-on, right?
Right.
Undrafted. So probably went to a tryout and they said, all right, let's see what the kid can do, and they gave him a shot. Took advantage. Unbelievable.
Yeah, like that. Headley, go to Robert with the Yankees. Headley and Gardner. Two guys that are both you would consider, what you're going to get from these guys night after.
Yeah.
Pretty solid ball players, am I right?
Yeah. Gardner, he's going to hit you around 260, 270. He's going to get on base with walks. And he's been more aggressive on the base path this year, which has been great. Headley, you hope he plays great defense because he's going to go through long stretches where he just doesn't hit. He's down to like 245, something like that right now.
Yeah, and his potential replacement is out for the year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
that kid, Torres.
Torres, yeah. They have another guy down there, Tyler Wade, who was great in spring training. They hope he's going to be like their super utility guy, like the Cubs' Ben Zobrist. They could always bring him up in a pinch if they needed him. But Torres was being groomed this year to play third base and take over next year.
Yeah, well, we're running a little late, or we're coming down to it, but I just have to mention, it comes to me, Murphy leaves the Mets and goes to Washington. Do you know, Mert, that he has played in 28 games with Washington against the Mets, and his hitting streak continues. He's got a 28-game hitting streak against the Mets.
And he was down to his last
yeah, unbelievable. He was down to his last at-bat the other night when they're saying, whoa, this is it. It was 27 games, something like that. And it comes through in the last inning with a hit. That talk about all-time jinxes. He's just come back and bit him in the ass. And I think a lot of it comes down to trading, not only in your own league but in your own division. It was unheard of not that many years ago to do business with.
Well, they didn't trade him, right? Wasn't he a free agent?
That's true. That's true.
He was a free agent. They didn't make him an offer. And
true. Another guy that's flourished with the Dodgers is Turner after leaving the Mets too.
Yeah. Now with him, though, he really didn't show that much with the Mets. You know, he was like a utility guy, and he didn't show anything at all really to make anybody think that he would have turned out into what he is now. You know, with Murphy, at least in that last playoff World Series.
Oh yeah, he went nuts.
Postseason.
And maybe it motivates him that they didn't come up and sign him after that incredible play. I think he hit.
But with Turner, he really didn't show that way. What was he, a 265 hitter with them? And then I guess there was something, I don't know what the deal was, something personal or something with management that they didn't agree on. I forget exactly what it may have been. But, you know, just by looking at him, there was no way to think that he would turn into what he turned into. Nobody could have figured that.
Murphy was very, very decent, but he's been incredible since leaving the Mets, and that's another step further in his career that you couldn't have predicted would happen. So, baseball is a funny game, said Joe Garagiola way back in the day.
Yeah.
Anything you want to part with, Robert? Anything that observations that you want to make? Hopes, dreams. What you got going?
I think the Yankees could have 4 or 5 players on the All-Star team this year. I mean, Judge, Didi, Castro, Sanchez. I mean, Castro's having it was a great year, batting .324, 12 homers, 43 RBIs. Didi's batting .330. I mean, there's a lot of positive stuff going on with the Yankees right now. I mean,
who's the little utility infielder that took over when Didi was down?
Ronald Torres. Torres.
Okay,
good little player.
Played third.
Yeah.
Does he play third as well?
Yeah, he plays second, short, and third, and he's still batting .296.
Ah, okay. So
yeah,
I think they're in a lot better shape at this point than our Mets, Marty. Do you agree?
Oh, no question about it.
Okay.
No question about it. Look, the Mets are done. They're done, Ralph. I mean, come on. They're like 10. What are they? 10.5 behind Washington, and they're even further behind in the wild card. So it's over. It is.
The thing with the Yankees too is Boston. I don't even think it's begun to play their best baseball yet, and they're right there tied with the Yankees. The Yankees need a lot of things to go right for them to be competitive for the division title this year.
They played them this week.
Tampa Bay is playing very, very good ball. They've got a hitting team and a much better bullpen than last year.
Yeah, they're tough.
Yeah. That's about it, guys. It was a fun show to do. I don't think we got too negative, other than to say at the end, well, you agree, Ralph, the season's done, and that's a total.
Well,
but we kept it
myself. I mean,
we're just talking about how it is. Right? No, I do.
Not just my opinion either, you know.
No, it isn't. It's my opinion too. But that's the way it goes. You can't always. In the weeks to come, we're going to talk more about our memories, our Mets memories, and we're going to talk about what's coming up in the future. I hope to have Daniel Weiss as a guest, who's a minor league maven, Brooklyn Cyclone expert, and
maybe we'll get a look at some of those draftees.
Right, exactly, and we'll see what we did, and we'll see what's coming up. You mentioned, Marty, that it was strange, not strange, but it seems to be a proclivity of Sandy Alderson to get college pitchers early on in the draft.
Yeah, I think out of the first 10 draft choices, 9 were college players, only 1 high school. So, yeah.
Well, Robert, anything out of the draft stand out in your mind? And if not, I understand.
Not really. I haven't really taken a good look at the players I drafted yet.
Yeah. It almost seems to be in baseball more than the other sports a crapshoot. And speaking of crapshoots, I hear Tebow is making such incredible strides that there's a chance that he's going to come up.
Yeah, he's batting .224. I mean, he can hit a fastball. He has problems with the off-speed pitches. And I'm seeing articles on social media that the Mets should bring him up, but at the end of the year. I think keep him in single A for now and see if he can't work his way up.
If he ever came up to the Mets in September, he'd be embarrassed. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He was just on SportsCenter throwing his bat into the stands, missing an off-speed pitch.
Well, I did read something that wasn't just social media. There was an article that a CNN or an ESPN article, and maybe they're hyping. You got to have something to hype if the team isn't going good. Maybe that's something that the team planted and get some attendance. It's all about getting butts in the seats and buying T-shirts.
Yeah.
So
you got to give him credit, though. The guy hasn't played ball since junior year in high school, and to bat .224, it's not bad.
Right. Well, I'll tell you who gets a lot, speaking of that, who gets a lot of, doesn't get a lot of credit for his baseball career, was Michael Jordan, who played 1 year in Double-A, hit .245 when the year he didn't play basketball. Had he played earlier, he would have been a big leaguer.
Didn't he also play in the Arizona Fall League after the Double-A season and bat like .313?
Might have.
I'm not sure. I think so. I'm not sure, but I think he could have done anything he wanted if he started at an early age. Any sport, baseball.
Yeah. Tebow's hitting .224, 201 at-bats, 3 homers, 21 RBIs.
Then what was that talk? That was crazy.
66 strikeouts and 201 at-bats in single A.
And that's low A, too.
Low A, yes.
Yeah. So, all right, Tebow. Hey, divine blessing that you got this far, my friend. You think about it that way. Lord giveth, Lord taketh away. Your uniform, sir? We're taking it away. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Same time, same bat channel. Rest in peace, Adam West.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And Bill Dana.
And Bill Dana, yes. I'll tell you quick. My name, Mert. We used to laugh at those albums.
Ralph, I got to tell you, when we heard I came to your apartment when I don't even remember how old we were. You put this record on, it was a long playing record, Jose Jimenez, and we were rolling on the floor laughing. And I still remember those routines. They're stuck in my head.
I remember the only one I really remember is this. My name, Jose Jimenez, and this was so politically incorrect in those days.
Well, that's why it ended. But
right.
I mean, so many those routines. I mean, he landed on the aircraft carrier. He was the bobsled racer. He was the farmer. He was the
farmer. What do you grow? He says, I grow tires.
Well, yeah, but before that, it was the lead into that. What should I get up at 4 in the morning? I milk the moo cows. I feed the chickens. I plow the fields. I plant the crops. And what do you grow? I grow tired. You know, I mean, it was unbelievable. The guy was great.
Yeah, he was a writer on the old Steve Allen show before he broke into that character.
Well, Steve Allen was the straight man for Jose Jimenez on that record. You know.
Oh, I did not realize that.
Yeah.
Probably knew that back then. I didn't remember that.
Oh,
wow.
Man. Yeah.
Speaking of a versatile guy with talent, wrote the song for the Tonight Show, the lead-in, probably had 30 books written. Very, very, died young too. So, whoa. All right, rest in peace, everybody who's gone. Mortality seems to be winning these days, the older we
get. All right. Hopefully we're back next week.
Hopefully. We got to stay off the DL, both of us. We're all day to day. Robert, you young fellow, drive carefully. It's the great equalizer. Okay. Be good, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Everybody out there, keeping on. Comfortably Zoned Radio Network production. Adios. Adios, Jose.